Sources now tell ABC News that President Trump's former Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, gave a transcribed interview recently. Mnuchin reportedly discussed the possibility of invoking the 25th Amendment with then-Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. For more, let's bring in ABC News investigative reporter Katherine Faulders. So that 25th Amendment provides for the removal of a president from office, and the cabinet secretaries, the Secretary of State, Secretary of the Treasury, Pompeo and Mnuchin, would be crucial in that process under the Constitution. They are the ones who have the power there. What do we know about what the House committee has found out about this?
And look, that is extremely important to their investigation here. We know that they haven't spoken to Pompeo yet. They're negotiating with him, but they have a couple weeks back sat down with Steve Mnuchin, the former Treasury Secretary. It's important because, as we've reported, there had been conversations between Mnuchin and Pompeo about the 25th Amendment. And not only that, we know that the committee has also spoken to Trump's former Labor Secretary, Eugene Scalia, who said that on the morning of January 7th, he was trying to convene this cabinet meeting so that the members could discuss it. That ultimately did not happen because Mark Meadows, we're told, shut that down. But it's not only the 25th Amendment now that the committee is focused on. They are negotiating with the former Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe. They want to get more into the intelligence aspects of what was going on about Trump's decision-making following January 6th. And I'm also told the committee is focused on his phone calls, specifically Trump's phone calls after January 6th with world leaders.
It's fascinating the way this investigation by the Select Committee is expanding. Time is of the essence because it is possible that after the midterms, that committee won't be able to do its work because the Republicans will take over and kill it. So you mentioned Pompeo. Mike Pompeo wants to run for president in the Republican Party if Trump doesn't. As Secretary of State, he could be a witness here. Is he going to be interviewed? What's your read on that?
Oh, look, he's towing a fine line here. Pompeo actually a couple hours ago was just on Fox News taking a swipe at the committee in a way, but then also saying they're negotiating. They still want to talk here. Look, he will have insight into any discussions surrounding those 25th Amendment meetings. And the committee wants to talk to him. Now, look, if he doesn't, if they don't come to an agreement, it's very likely that they could subpoena him. So why not negotiate on the front end, go in for a transcribed deposition? I'm told those conversations are moving along, that there's been some tentative agreement. But to your point, Terry, he's most likely running for president. He will go in and talk to them, but it's just a matter of what he says and how far he goes.
And now the Republican National Committee has paid nearly $2 million in legal fees for former President Trump. That's just something they're doing, but they're now threatening to stop paying if Trump runs for president again, because I guess they think that would be taking sides. What exactly does that mean for Trump?
Look, so they have told us that they have this neutrality policy, that they're not going to pay the legal bills for anyone or any candidate once they announce. But it will be fascinating to see, now that they're on the record with this, how this plays out into Trump's decision-making on when to decide whether to run. We know that John Carl reported in his book, for example, when Trump was wanting to leave the Republican Party, he had this conversation with the chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel, who essentially said, okay, well, if you do that, then we won't pay your legal bills. And ultimately, that never happened. So, look, they've paid almost $2 million in legal bills here. This is somebody who racks up a lot of legal bills and probably a luxury he would argue that he doesn't want to lose. So, again, if he does decide in the coming weeks whether he's going to run or not, it will be interesting to see if the RNC's policy then has an effect on ultimately what Trump officially or doesn't officially announce.
Hey, Katherine, I want to follow up on that. You said there's a new policy. It almost sounds like they're trying to discourage Donald Trump from running for president again, that the established party is, at least doesn't want to carry him into the race. Is something going on there?
Yeah, well, look, that's exactly what it sounds like. And they've said this before in a way, but not as pointed as this. And we know that many Republicans don't want him to announce right now. They want him to wait till after the midterms. They don't want him to announce at all, for example, because, of course, then that affects others who jump in the race. So that's certainly what it seems like here. And honestly, when you're talking about the legal bills and these high numbers that he does rack up in these fees, it could, at the end of the day, have an effect.
Fascinating. We'll follow that, and I know you will be following it as well. Katherine, thanks very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.